Monk, whenever there's a global crisis like the Iran-Israel conflict, markets become extremely volatile. Stock prices start swinging widely, investors become nervous. But I keep hearing analysts say something interesting. They say smart money is already moving. Now, what exactly does that mean? And more importantly, where does smart money actually go when market become uncertain? That's an excellent question because during periods of geopolitical tension, capital across the world begins shifting very rapidly. Investors constantly evaluate the risk and adjust their portfolios accordingly. By the end of this video, we will understand what smart money actually means, where institutional investors move their capital during crisis, and why certain assets tend to perform better during global uncertainty. First, let us understand what people actually mean by smart money. In financial markets, the term usually refers to institutional investors, hedge funds, large asset managers, and professional traders. These participants often have more resources, more information, and more sophisticated strategies. And during uncertain times, these investors begin repositioning their capital. One of the most common reactions during geopolitical crisis is called a flight to safety. This happens when investors move their capital away from risky assets into assets that are considered safer. So, where exactly does that money go? Historically, several assets tend to attract capital during uncertain times. These includes gold, government bonds, certain currencies like the US dollar, and sometimes commodities like oil. But capital does not always move into safer assets. Another common strategy is sector rotation. Investors shift money away from sectors that may suffer during economic uncertainty and into sectors that may benefit. Examples include energy companies, defense companies, commodities, and sometimes utility. And this constant movement of capital is what drives the market volatility. For investors, understanding where capital flows during crisis can provide important insights. Markets are not only driven by economic fundamentals, they are also influenced by how investors collectively respond to uncertainty. So, when analysts talk about smart money moving during geopolitical conflict, they are referring to these large shifts in capital across global financial markets. If you want to understand how global events influence the markets and capital flows, subscribe to the channel because we break down the macro forces that move money around the world here very clearly.